The galactic market hummed with 1,000 different frequencies of life. Merchant stalls displayed everything from crystallized time fragments to living metal that sang when touched. Ambassador Zerthal of the Krevax Dominion stood at his post, observing the chaos with 4 eyes that had witnessed 3 centuries of trade. Then the human walked in, and everything changed. She was unremarkable by human standards, medium height, brown skin, dark hair tied back in what his translator called a ponytail. But she carried herself with that peculiar human confidence that made Zerthal's scales itch. The Terrans had only joined the Galactic Council 5 cycles ago, yet they moved through the cosmos as if they owned it. Behind her, on a leash that seemed laughably inadequate, padded a Vexnar cub. Zerthal's blood froze. Vexnar were apex predators from a death world in the Scorched Arm. Adults stood 3 meters tall, possessed jaws that could crush battle armor, and had been known to hunt sentient prey for sport. They were, by every measure, one of the most dangerous species in known space. Their cubs were only slightly less lethal, equipped with venomous fangs and berserker instincts that made them unpredictable killing machines, and this human had one on a leash. "Excuse me." Zerthal's diplomatic training kicked in, though his translator crackled with his stress pheromones. "Honored Terran, are you aware that creature is classified as Extreme Hazard Level 7? The human, her name tag read Dr. Sarah Chen, Xenobiological Research, and smiled. It was that uniquely human expression that showed teeth, which most species found threatening. "Oh, you mean Luna? Yeah, she's a sweetheart. We're doing a behavioral study. Luna." The human had named the predator. As if summoned by its designation, the Vexnar cub, Luna, suddenly lunged. Its movements were liquid death, faster than most species could track. Zerthal reached for his emergency beacon, certain he was about to witness a massacre. The cub's crystalline fangs clamped down on Dr. Chen's boot. The human didn't scream, didn't run, didn't even flinch. She simply looked down at the cub, raised one finger, one single soft appendage that wouldn't last a second against those fangs, and pointed at the creature's face. "No," she said. The word was sharp, carrying a weight that seemed to compress the very air around them. The Vexnar cub, a creature whose species had terrorized entire sectors, whose hunting calls had become synonymous with death, released the boot. Its luminescent eyes went wide. It backed up, lowered its head, and made a sound Zerthal had never heard from a Vexnar before. It whined. The cub pressed itself against the ground, its multiple tails curling submissively around its body. It was the posture of complete surrender, something adult Vexnar would rather die than assume. Dr. Chen's expression softened. She knelt down, completely vulnerable, and scratched behind what Zerthal supposed were the cub's auditory organs. "Good girl," she cooed. "We don't bite, remember? Gentle." Luna's whining turned into a rumbling sound that the translator struggled with before settling on purr. Zerthal felt his worldview fracturing. "How?" he managed to ask. "How are you?" "That creature should have torn your limb from limb." Dr. Chen stood, brushing off her knees. "Oh, we've been working together for about 3 months now. Luna was rescued from a poaching ring. She was malnourished, traumatized. Took a while to build trust." "Trust?" Zerthal's voice rose an octave. "That is a Vexnar. They don't form social bonds. They're solitary hunters who cannibalize their own siblings." "In the wild, sure," Dr. Chen said, pulling out a treat that smelled of compressed protein. Luna's eyes tracked it with laser focus. "But that's environmental, not genetic. We've discovered that with proper socialization, Vexnar are actually quite social. Turns out they're pack hunters who were forced into solitary behavior by scarce resources on their homeworld." She tossed the treat. Luna caught it with terrifying precision, then sat like she was waiting for approval. "Good girl." Dr. Chen's voice went high and happy in that way humans did when pleased. A small crowd had gathered now. Species from across the galaxy watched in stunned silence as the human continued to interact with the predator, as if it were harmless, as if evolutionary millennia of hunting instinct could be overwritten by, what, kindness? Training, sheer human audacity? "Your species is insane," a Quellon merchant whispered, their vocal sacs trembling. "You live on a death world, you adopt death world predators as companions, and you treat apex killers like pets," Dr. Chen supplied helpfully. Actually, on Earth, we've been doing this for thousands of years. We domesticated wolves, big cats, bears. Well, bears are harder, but we're working on it. It's kind of our thing. Zerthal remembered reading something about that in the Terran cultural files. Earth's dogs and cats, creatures descended from predators now living in human homes treated as family members. He'd assumed it was exaggeration or translation error. Apparently not. The key, Dr. Chen continued, and now her voice carried that tone humans used when teaching, is understanding that aggression usually comes from fear or need. Luna bit my boot because she was testing boundaries, seeing what she could get away with. By establishing clear rules and consistent consequences, without violence, you build a framework of trust. You pointed at her, Zerthal said flatly. You defeated a Vexnar with a single finger gesture, Dr. Chen laughed. Well, when you put it that way, it sounds dramatic. But yeah, body language is huge. Humans are persistence predators, right? We hunted by outlasting our prey, tracking them for days until they collapsed from exhaustion. We didn't need to be the strongest or fastest. We just needed to be relentless, patient, and smart. She gestured to Luna, who was now lying on her back, exposing her vulnerable belly to the human. Luna knows I'm the alpha. Not because I hurt her, but because I'm consistent, confident, and I control the resources she needs. That's how human social hierarchies work too. Zerthal watched as Dr. Chen rubbed the cub's belly. The Vexnar's rumbling purr increased in volume, and its eyes, capable of tracking prey in 6 different light spectrums, closed in contentment. You're monsters, he said. But there was awe in his voice now, not fear. Beautiful, terrifying monsters. Dr. Chen smiled again, and this time Zerthal understood it wasn't a threat display. It was something more complicated, a showing of trust, of invitation, of that peculiar human warmth. We prefer friends, she said. Come on, Luna. Let's go show the Hive delegation that trick where you play dead. As the human and her impossible companion walked away, Zerthal made a note in his report for the Dominion Council. Update Terran threat assessment. They don't conquer through force. They conquer through adoption. May the cosmos help us all. In the distance, he could hear Dr. Chen's voice. Who's a good apex predator? You are, yes you are. And the Vexnar cub's answering whine of pure, devoted happiness.